Tonight we're going to be making a Valentine's wreath. Look at this. Isn't this so cute? Alright, well let's get started. Okay, we're going to be using a 15-inch wire wreath form. And I thought this would be fun to do. I have 2 rolls of this red left over from Christmas. And I think that it's a great idea to try and use up all of your extra. So we're going to use the extra. And then we're going to do ruffles with this red with a little white trim, and then this jute with the red trim. So we have 2 options for this sign. We have this one. See, those match. And we have this one. Isn't that cute? I just think that's adorable. Okay, so we're going to do some red ribbon, some beige and off-white ribbon, and see, we're going to do that because it matches this, and then a little Valentine's ribbon. Alright, so we're going to do poofs with the red, and just give me a minute and we'll get started. What we're going to do is we're going to make poofs with this. And I'm going to start on the bottom. So I'm just going to gather this up like this. Thank you. And I'm going to open up my ties on the bottom. Here we go. All right. So now that I've got all my ties open, we can start putting it down. So I'll gather it up like this, and I will go right in front of a tie, and I will just use one of my zip ties and tie it down like that. Okay, and then I can trim this off. So can y'all see? It's a little different angle, but I think it still works pretty well. What you doing, Bella? Alright, so now we're just going to make 10-inch poofs. So, you know, I like to do my 1, 2, 3, so I just go 1, 2, 3. Make my little poof. Tie it down one time and fluff it out. See how nice this mesh is? This is the fabric metallic. 1, 2, 3. Okay. There we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm so glad. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Oops. 2, 3. Now, if you need to measure out 10 inches, that's okay as well. You would just measure out 10 inches and put it down. A mat like this is very helpful if you're going to do something like that. So, 2, 3. All right. So And this is the 21-inch fabric mesh, and it came from, where did this come from? Craft Outlet. And this came from Craft Outlet, and so did this. Okay. So we're just about at the end of the bottom. So you see, this is where I have that tie that I went right in front of. So when I end it here, you can't tell where it started. It just kind of helps cover that part. Alright, let's see. So we don't have a ton of mesh left. So I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to cut this off. See, we don't have very much of that left. So we'll use our other roll for the top. Now I'm just going to take this little piece. Now I'm going to go around the back and just tie it down so it won't pop out later. So this is a great thing to do if you have several leftover rolls. Then you can still do the poof. You could even do one color on the bottom and one color on the top. It's just a great way to use up your excess, because we all have that. Alright, so I squashed these a little, so I'll just kind of puff them back out. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the top. So I'm just going to kind of cut a clear line here, because sometimes when I end, they're kind of uneven. There we go. So you can get kind of a better idea of what that mesh looks like. It's really pretty. Alright. So there's no reason that I go on the bottom first versus the top. It's just kind of personal preference. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to scrunch it up, go in front of a tie on the top, and tie it down with a zip tie. And then trim that off. And then push it back behind. And I did the same thing. I went in front of a tie right there. So now I will open up the ties on the top. There we go. And then we'll do the same thing. So 10-inch loops. Okay. And just fluff them out. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So we'll just keep going around. Alright. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we got 2 more. 2, 3. Last 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'll put this one down. See, isn't this mesh nice and full? I like this mesh. So now I'm just going to trim this off right here. See, so it used, so now I have just a little bit left on each roll. Probably not enough to do another wreath, but you know, you can use these to do like a swag or something along those lines. So, okay, so I will take this edge that I trimmed off and go around back and tie it off. Okay. Alright, so we've gotten this part done. So now what we're going to do is we are going to put this away for a second. And we're going to cut some of these. Now of course I already have a bunch cut, but I want to show you what I'm going to do. So when I have two together, what I like to do is put them together like this. Get the edges together. And then, you know, I have this table that's lower than the table I cut on. And it does help keep them from falling over or rolling back. So all I'm going to do is roll it out. And I am going to cut every 20 inches. So, right there. And we'll do one more. And then we'll pull out the ones that I've already done. Okay. Oops. There we go. All right, so now we can bring this back, and what we're going to do is the ruffle method. We all love the ruffle method, don't we? So I'm going to separate these two, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate. So I'll do one, then the other, so on and so forth. And so I'll lay it down flat like this. Alright, and remember, if you have trouble with your hands, go on both sides like this. If you don't, you can go right up the middle. But if you do have trouble with your hands, pull it from both sides. And I'll show you what I mean. So you'll end up with a little bow tie. See that? And then we're just going to open one of our ties, put it down, and tie it off. Then I'll spread it out. Now when you put these down, you have two options. So you can go side to side like I'm doing, or you can go, see how that looks? Or you can go up and down, which is more like this. So you see the difference? It's not a huge difference, but it's a subtle difference. Alright. So, okay, so if you have trouble making a ruffle or with your hands, just take your thumbs and just pull it up on both sides with your fingers like this. And then when you get to the end, you're just going to grab it in the middle. See, and you'll still end up with a ruffle. Okay. We can go to our next tie. Open it. Put it down. Tie it off one time. So we're going to tie it off one time because, of course, we're going to do some ribbons. We have to do ribbons. There we go. All right. So we'll just keep going, making our ruffles. So what is everybody? And I'll tell you, I still haven't opened my stuff that I got when I went to Sam's. As you can see back here, my room is a mess. And I went shopping again, so now I have even more stuff. But that's okay. I got lots of stuff for spring. So we're going to have a lot of fun doing some spring stuff. But I found this little truck here, and I just had to do something with it. So I thought, well, we'll do one more Valentine's. Alright. So I have a whole bunch cut so that I can keep going. Gathering. Okay. So there we go. Okay. So we're there. Oh, nice. Yeah, I have to do St. Patrick's Day next. Okay. So when you put your ruffles down, you want to make sure that you fluff them back out. See? Or else they're not going to, they're going to look a little funny. Okay, so I just keep separating. And going up the middle. I like the little bit of the burlap in it. And it'll look perfect with this. Either one of these sides, it will look perfect with either side. In case I didn't tell you, this sign came from the Christmas tree shop. You know, they have those all year round Christmas tree shops. And there's one about an hour from here. And I happened to go in there and I found that and I was pretty excited. It's more like an old time truck. Yeah. We'll be putting ruffles on the top too. Yeah. I really like to do this because it just makes the wreath so full. Just gives it a little bit extra. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now we'll start on the top. There we go. And when I do my ruffles, I always just kind of tuck the ends under like this so that you can't see the little edges that come off. That helps a lot, and it'll help keep it from fraying a little bit more. So just tuck it under a little bit, and then you're really not going to see those edges. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alrighty. So I like this. It's just a little bit different than the normal Valentine's. I kind of like to do that. Something just a little bit different. Alright, we're doing our last ruffle. And then we can do our ribbons. I love, isn't this mesh pretty? I love that mesh. Alright, so we got all of our ruffles in. You see what a difference it makes? You see how different it looks with the ruffles on it? So, and then it makes this nice little nest for our sign. Isn't that cute? Or you could do this sign too. So really, it's just kind of, whatever works for you. So now we've got all this in, our ribbons. Alright, so I've already cut a bunch of ribbons, but I wanted to go through what I did. So we can use this one. So I got this cute little ribbon at Michael's. And then I just have my other ribbons. It's just a red ribbon, and then I have a kind of burlap and off-white. So just trying to do something a little different, just fun. So I use my little cardboard that I cut. This is just a 6-inch. This is a 6-inch piece of cardboard, and I just put duct tape on it, and then I just wrap my ribbon around it, and then when I cut it at the top, I could slip my scissors in here, and then just that fast I have 2 pieces, and they're 12 inches. I use 12 most of the time. Sometimes I use 14, and then I just fold it over like this and cut at an angle, just because I like that nice little detail. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the red. So the red's a 2.5 and the other 2 are 1.5. Now I'm just going to put them together and find the middle. And then I'm just going to go down, open my tie back up, and then tie it down 3 times and flip my ribbons down like this. And so what I plan to do is I plan to put the kind of burlap and off-white in the red and white, and then I will do the red with the black and white in the burlap one. That will kind of continue that color even more. So I just go, open it up, put it down, tie it off 1, 2, 3 times, and then I'm pulling it down like this and just spreading them out. And I just keep doing the same thing all the way around. So pinch, open it up, put it down, tie it off 3 times, and then pull out my ribbons. So, and I tell you, one of the reasons that I am doing this just slightly different colors is because what you can do is keep this, and then you can just change out the sign because it's pretty generic. That way you can get more use out of it. So that's a really great thing to do if you want to have different seasons. If you make your base pretty generic, then you can change out your signs and still have a really good wreath. It's really good to do that with the grapevines too. So see there. Okay. Okay. So I just keep putting them down. Facing out my ribbons. I love doing the poofs with the ruffle on top. It really just makes such a full wreath. I really like full wreaths. Not overpowering, but full. Not quite as much as the Mardi Gras, but those are fun to make too because they're different. Different than the norm. So we've gotten all the way around the bottom. So now we can do the top. So we'll just do the same thing. So we'll find the middle, pinch it, open the tie back up, put it down, tie it off 3 times. And I am going to do this one just like I did on the bottom. I'm going to pull them out to the front. And of course the reason I'm doing that is because when we put this sign on, we'll still be able to see our ribbons. See, if you pull them out to the side like this, then you can still see them. Just a little trick for when you're putting a big sign on, because this is a really big sign. So when you're putting a big sign on, you really want to put your ribbons out to the front. And you know, if you want your ribbons to stand out, you can put them right on top and not reopen your ties. You can do that too. I get that question a lot. And there's no reason that you can't do that, so. Either I cut that really short or I cut this really long. I think I cut this really long. Okay. Alright. So just keep pulling them to the front, like that. And it looks like we're probably going to have to cut a few more. Oh, there it is. We'll cut a few more of these. Okay. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to use my little thing here and cut a few more. You know, I learned this little trick one time when I went to one of my wholesalers. That was a pretty nifty trick. I've used it ever since. They didn't put duct tape on theirs, but I did because I wanted to be able to use it over and over again. So, alright. There. And I don't think I told you, but I got this ribbon here at Craft Outlet. I think pretty much everything in this, except for this ribbon and the little truck, came from Craft Outlet. So, and if they don't have it, I would go look at Trendy Tree, because I get stuff from there a lot too. They're both really good. They have a lot of supplies. Okay. So we're getting close to the end of the ribbons. Okay. Good. All right, last one. So now I'll show you why we pulled all these out front. So once you get everything on it, you want to figure out where to put your sign. And see, you see, when you put that sign down, see, you can still see those ribbons because we put them out front. See how that helps? Alright, so this comes with some rope on it. I don't know if I'll be able to use the rope or not, but I know for sure what I am going to do is use this new thing that I've been using lately. So these are zip cable tie adhesive mounts, and I got mine from Amazon, and you can get like 100 or 500, and it has like this little adhesive, like kind of like command strips, except a little bit sturdier. And then in there are little holes, and you can run zip ties, right, or I mean pipe cleaners right through it, or zip ties. You can run zip ties through it. So I will put it on in a few places. So I like to put it on the edges, and then I always like to tie this off one time so that it's not yanking on it. Alright. So let's see. So we've got one there, one there. I think we should put one in the front. Then we can tie it down. There we go. Alrighty. So these right here came from Amazon, and they're just called zip tie adhesive mount. You could probably get, you might even be able to get these from Walmart. I'm not sure, I haven't checked yet, but I found them when I was on Amazon, and so I just went ahead and got them. Now, if you can reach the actual base of the wreath, it's always best to tie it down there. If I can't, then I will tie it on to some of the ties that are on my base. But I'm actually going to tie this on, at least this side. There we go. And I'll show you what I'm doing. So what I do is right where the ruffle is, right here in the middle, I just take my tie and I just go right in the middle and go around the base. And then just tie it down from the back. Whoops, one side fell out. So see if you can see. See right there. So now just take it and tie it, and flip it back over. Okay. So you see that? Alright, so the top, I'm just going to take this string and I'll see if I can reach. Yeah. I'm just going to go right down to the base and tie it down. And then I'll put my mesh back around it. There we go. See? Now, you want it to be secure, but you don't want it to be so snug that it is going to smush your wreath. So, I think I had this side over here a little too tight. So, we'll pull that back out. Alright, so once I get it all down, I always do the shape test to make sure it's not going anywhere, and then I'll just check and see if there's any ribbons I need to kind of pull back out, like that. See, isn't that cute? It kind of looks like it's coming out from the truck. You see? So then, I always have little picks and things like that. You know, and it's up to you whether you want to just leave it like it is or if you want to add a few little things. I think I have some. Yeah. So one thing I like to do is get like a bag of these. I get these from Hobby Lobby, and what you can do is poke a hole in them and stick them down right on your tie. You see that? Isn't that cute? I like to do that. And then all you have to do is take your glue, put a little tiny bit of the glue on there, and then just stick it down. Like that. So now I can put I can can put one on this side. Okay. Like that. One here. See, it's subtle. I like that. I will be back in a few days, so I hope you have a great day or rest of your evening. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.